Okay. Hello. So my name is Sean Mulligan, and for my max assignment, I made a multi effects plugin. It has 5 effects. There's a mixer page. You can load samples into it, and they'll loop if you play them. You can change the sample dry volume here, and then you can play your own instruments into your interface, which will then go through the effects plugin. I have a keyboard plugged in with a line in into my interface, electric keyboard. You can do a guitar, you can do vocals, you can do anything like that. So I have the on and off here toggle button, which just is just master volume basically. Have it routed to this pad, which will turn it on and off. These ones won't work because it is only routed to this that one there. So that's your dry electric keyboard sound. Sounds very nice. I'll go through the effects real quick. So this is the reverb here. You can set the wet and the length there as I did. And this here is the mixer, which you can pick each effect and select the amount or the level that you want to play them at. So this is like your main mixer. It can be each one. I've assigned each one to be controlled by my MIDI keyboard. These controls, and then as you can see, the button I was talking about earlier, the master volume, changes the dry and the master volume there. So if you turn the reverb up, you can turn the dry down and just have the wet reverb signal coming through. I'll just turn the reverb. I'll just turn the reverb up a bit more. Right here. Yeah, so I'll turn that down. I'll demonstrate a few more. There's the delay. The delay length can be determined using these sliders here. And this is the delay volume. So if you want a quick delay, this is the delay. You can have the volume getting lower. Or you can have a long delay and have the volume getting louder. See what I mean? So I'll turn that down. I'll demonstrate the overdrive. Where is it? Alright, the overdrive is probably my favorite effect. I just think it's really cool. Sounds pretty cool as well. I normally turn it up to around 20 or 30 and then use the mixer to level it out. Choose my amount. It just sounds really cool. There you go. There's the chorus effect as well. Oh my god. Which I think it sounds very nice. You can change the rate, the depth, the time, the feedback level, and the dry wet. So like turn it. It sounds real cool. Yeah, it sounds cool. And you can mix that with the reverb as well. So. If you want. Sounds kind of cool. And then the last effect is the flanger, which I'll just turn the reverb down. It's very simple layout, but it works. Turn the dry up as well. Yeah, so this is all the mixer here. So as you can see, you can just do a load of effects at once. Just have the dry. Where's it? There. And there's this little frequency analyzer thing going on down here too, which is cool. Alright, I'll kind of get into the main homepage, how everything kind of goes together first. So you have the ADC, which is the input, your volume input coming up here, and there's also the sample player, but I'll just focus on the ADC at the moment. They basically work the same. The sample player has a little loop message going on here to keep it looping when it plays around. Or when it finishes, it will play again, I mean. Alright, so the ADC is the input, your main input coming in. So for me is the keyboard, well, it's the interface, the keyboard signal coming through it. And each sub patch, which like this here, this is a sub patch for the main home page, is being the ADC is running into each sub patch basically. And if you go into presentation patcher mode, you'll see this inlet is the signal coming through from the ADC, going through the effect, going out of the effect at the level you decide through that outlet. And then if you go back to this here, so this is where it is, goes into this send delay 1, which when you go to the mixer in the patcher mode, there is a receive delay 1. So basically the delay effect is being sent from the main home patch to the mixer wirelessly through the send and receive objects, and then that's how you control it. That's how you control the level of the delay on the main mixer, which is there. And then each one of the effects works the same. Basically, you got the sub patch, which decides you can control how much you want from in there, which then is being sent to here. And then it goes through a peak. They all go through a peak limiter to stop it from peaking, and then that runs into just the master volume, which you can change here, or you can do the reset there, and then that master volume level is running into the DAC, which is the output that you have chosen. So I'll just talk about this real quick and how you can toggle everything on and off. So we have a note in object which is detecting when the MIDI note 48 is being played with this select 48. So if you press these, nothing happens, but when you press 48, it toggles this toggle button on and off. So when this is off, yeah. When the toggle button is off, this object here will set these to -70 because it won't detect an output. So when it detects an output from the toggle, it sets them to 0 dB, which is how you want to turn on your effect plugin, for me anyway. Yeah, so that's how the main homepage and the mixer kind of work together. I'll run through the delay and the overdrive effect real quick. So where's the delay? So yeah, as I showed earlier, this is how the delay works. You can do all kinds of weird delay lengths. What do we got? It's just weird. So basically using the tap in, tap out, and you have all the times here, but then these sliders determine the length and the volume, as I was mentioning earlier. They go through this unpack, which can then go through these number boxes, and it changes the original tap out time to whatever you put in, you know what I mean? So this one here works the same. It's a bit like not random, but it's a bit like uncontrollable. So I'll talk about what I want to change about it in a minute anyway, but it's a bit like it's cool, but it's a bit uncontrollable at times. And then the overdrive, which is my favorite, as I mentioned before, basically works through, you get the input from this inlet here, which so the overdrive works, you can control the left and right channels. So this one here goes into the left. It's the same layout, left and right, you just copy and paste it, but this input goes here, and you can change the left channel with this degrade object and overdrive object. The degrade changes the sample rate, and the overdrive adds distortion, and you can control the amount using these sliders and little dial and this number box here, and or this little slider here. And it's the same for this side. And then they both run through a peak limiter, and then they're outputted. Yeah, I think that one's really cool. So yeah, I think that's everything really about the effects. I'll just turn it off. What I would change about it though, there's a couple things that I would change about effects that I have currently, and just add new things to it. As I mentioned before, the delay, I want to change that a little bit. Where is it? Sorry. It's a bit like I want to have more control over the delay. I don't like because it can be very short with just the 8 different delay notes, and it's very hard to get it in time. It's hard to get it exactly on beat, I guess. So I guess I could just, to make it longer, I could just make, instead of making this 8 sliders, make it 16. But I still want to have that control over it. So I'm gonna look into new ways to do that, definitely. On the main, where's the main page? Sorry, I want to add a reverse sample effect. I think that'd be pretty cool to have, just like a little option here to make the sample reverse when it plays, and it'll keep looping as well. I think it'd just be a cool creative thing to do. Oh yeah, a big one that I wanted to do was add presets to it. So I'd probably do it just a little kind of preset section here, maybe move this a little bit, and yeah, just basically add presets. So you could have like a overdrivey reverb kind of preset, and I think that would sound really nice. A reverb and delay preset for like a real ambient kind of spacey sound, and maybe like a chorus and a little bit of reverb for like indie guitars. I think that'd be very cool. One thing that I need to improve next time I'm making a patch is the organization of the patcher mode. I know it's not like, it doesn't show up in the presentation mode, but it's just like I've got invisible sub patches. It's very hard to keep track of everything, so I definitely need to improve that. And last thing I wanted to add was a like an octaver effect, because I did add one yesterday, but there was latency issues with it, and I didn't really know how to fix it. So if I find a way to improve that, and or make a new one, I definitely want to add an octaver kind of pedal effect. Yeah. So that's that. I think that's everything. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. This has been my patch. Yeah. Thank you.